Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So James Cameron showed us in the first part of Avatar how the Sky People try to forcefully take over Pandora to get unobtainium. Then Jake Sully and Dr. Grace and Dr. Noabum unite to save Pandora and fought a war against the RDA and won that war. And the Sky People were driven out of Pandora. Now James Cameron, while continuing this amazing story, shows that some people were allowed to stay in Pandora after the war. There was also a small child among them, whose name is Miles. And everyone at Pandora calls him Spider. It's been 14 years now, and Pandora is more beautiful than ever. And Jack has also created a beautiful family of his own with Neytiri. And Jack also has 4 children. The name of the eldest son is Nathium. Then comes Lok and the youngest child is Tuk and Kiri. Kiri is the daughter of Dr. Grace, who is adopted by Jack. But how Kiri was born and who is her father is all a mystery. And in the end comes Spider, who is adopted by Jack. Spider is actually the son of Colonel Mike, yes, the same Colonel Mike, who was the villain of the first part. It's been so many years and we know it's hard to live on Earth right now, that's why people are trying to come back to Pandora. This time the name of the general of RDA is Ardmore. He keeps attacking Pandora again and again, and each time he fails. And here Jack has just become their chief in Pandora, and every time he kills the Sky People, he takes their weapons with him. So General Ardmore calls back Colonel Mike to kill Jack. Yes, the same Colonel Mike who was killed in Avatar 1. So how can it come back? Here Colonel Mike's memory is brought back to Pandora by restoring in a cloned avatar. He remembers everything except the last few moments of his life. And he doesn't know how he died. There Kyrie also has her mother's avatar on Pandora. She also always listens. Finally Colonel Mike reaches Pandora. He is specially sent here to kill Jack. As soon as he arrives, he starts his work with his companions. His team name is Blue Team. He comes to the same place in the jungle where he died. There he understands that he was killed not by Jack, but by Jack's wife Neytiri. Meanwhile, Lok is roaming in the jungle with Spider and Kiri. Lok is a very curious boy and keeps roaming in the forest like this. While roaming in such a forest, they also reach the same place where Colonel Mike has come. Then Colonel Mike sees them. Jack later learns that the Sky People have captured his children. To save his children, Jack follows them with Neytiri. Once there, Jack and Neytiri attack Blue Team and rescue their children. But Spider gets injured in this and falls down. And Colonel Mike catches him. Then he learns that it is Mile and he is his son. All the kids are upset about leaving Spider behind. But in order to save his family, Jake leaves his clan territory as well as his position as king to find a safer place. Seeing their home going away, all the children are in despair. After a few days of travel, Jack arrives in Meatkind with his family, which is an unknown territory for them. The name of the chief of Meatkaina is Tonovari. He is married to Tokeri and has 2 children, Anong and Syria. And Tonovari allows Jack and his family to stay with him for a while and asks to train his family to live in water. And her family can't hold their breath for long in the water, but Kiri has already been able to stay in the water for a long time in the first attempt. How this happens now, we do not know. Jack and his family take training very seriously. And Jack believes that this place is safe for his family. And to live here they have to learn all this. And we see Colonel Mike, along with his son Miles, searching for Jack and his family. And they know they'll need an Ikran to find him. So Colonel Mike, accepting his son's challenge, sets out to capture Ikran. And impressing his son, he bonds with Ikran. Here the bonding of a father and son starts. There in Meatkaina one day there is a fight between Lok and Tonvari's son Onang. He tells Chief Lok to apologize to Onang. Lok does exactly that, and the Onang game doesn't end here. He purposely takes Lok along with his friends into the deep water. As Lok goes deep into the water, Onang makes his way back to the shore with his friends, leaving Lok alone. Lok is still alone when a dangerous shark-type creature attacks them. And Lok tries his best to save his life. But after a certain time he cannot hold his breath underwater. And that shark is about to attack him, only then a huge whale comes and kills that shark and saves Lok's life. This is Tonuk, and it's a whale. The guys befriend Tonuk. There in Metkayana everyone is upset as Lok hasn't returned yet. Now Tonuk goes back into the water, leaving Lok on the shore. Everyone knows that Onang did this intentionally. And here Lok takes all the blame on himself. And saves them. And after this Onang and Lok become friends. And Lok tells everyone that he had met Tonuk. And one of his left palms was broken. Then Syria says that his name is Paikan and he is a killer. The one who killed all the Tonuks. But people are not ready to accept this thing of Syria. He is convinced that the Paikan he met cannot be the killer. One day Jack comes over to talk to Kiri. Because she is set, and there are two reasons for this. First, she is missing Spider. And second, she tells that she can feel Eva. In Pandora, Eva is the goddess of sailors. But Carrie doesn't understand why all this happens only with her. Why isn't she normal like the rest of the people? Tonwari's daughter Syria, along with all the children, takes them to their sacred place. There, as Carrie forms a bond with her sacred roots, she sees her mother in front of her. And meeting her, she feels very happy and better. Then as soon as she asks her what is her father's name, then Dr. Grace can't answer her and she disappears. Suddenly Carrie's health starts deteriorating. She is immediately brought back to Maid Kayane. In order to cure Carrie as soon as possible, Jack calls the Dr. Gnome from the ship there. But Tonwar's wife Tokri saves Carrie's life with her traditional medicine. The scene shifts, we see that the bond between father and son is increasing. Mike's got an Ikran too. And he's also learning Navi sign language with Spider. Then the general informs him that we have received a signal that we want to head towards the island. So Mike thinks Jack must have been there, because Gnome was there, so maybe because of that his signal got picked up by the RDA. And to catch him, Mike takes a huge ship and goes to that island. There, in the water, Locke goes to Python and asks, why was he thrown out of the clan? So Python asks Locke to form a bond with him. As Locke bonds with her, he witnesses how humans killed Pyke's mother in front of him a few years ago. But to avenge this, she attacked humans along with some of his companions. But all his companions were killed in that war. And in that fight Pyke lost his left palm. In that battle, only Pyke survives. And since then, he lives alone. Locke had formed a bond with Python here. So Tonawari gets angry with him. Everyone thinks that Python is the killer. But now Locke knows that he is not a killer. And she didn't kill her comrades. Siri tells Locke that I see you, which means Syria trusts Locke. There Mike continues to attack all the islands, one after the other. But everyone says that they don't know where Jack is. In return, Colonel Mike sets fire to their island. But this doesn't work, so Colonel Mike starts hunting whale. That's why we see how human people are killing the whales by holding them. Because there is an anti-aging liquid inside the whales. Like nectar whose price is very high on earth. And that's why they hunt whales. Tonwari comes to know about this. And orders everyone to fight. Jack then learns that the sky people are out to hunt him, not whales. And he decides to take his family away from them to save Tonawari's family. As soon as Locke learns that the sky people are hunting Wale, he goes to save his friend Pyke. And Locke's siblings also go with him. As he approaches Pyke, Colonel Mike has already started attacking him. And he captures Locke, Syria, and Tuk. Then Jack arrives there with Tonawari's army. Then Colonel Mike asks him to come forward alone. Otherwise we'll kill his children, then Jack agrees. But then underwater, Pyke sees his friend Locke in danger. He remembers his old memories. And they attack that ship in anger. Seeing him, Tonwari also attacks that ship with his army. That's why Carrie, hid in the water below, attacks the enemies by forming a bond with all the creatures living in the water. There is a different power inside her. She can bond with any animal, controlling their entire clan. And Spider, who is inside the ship, tries with all his might to stop them. And he also succeeds in crushing the ship. Pyke also avenges his mother's death by killing each one. Nathium comes there to rescue Locke, Syria, and Tuk. And Locke goes back inside ship to save Spider. And Nathium has to go after him even if she doesn't want to. Going inside, both the brothers save Spider. But unfortunately Nathium gets shot in it. Jack and Neytiri's first child, Nathium, takes his last breath in front of them. But on the ship, Mike holds both of Jack's daughters, Carrie and Tuk. And he challenges Jack to fight back. Jack dares Neytiri to save her children. And to save their daughters, they both go back to Mike. Locke also has to go with them, but Jack tells him while leaving that you have already done too much. The death of Nathium is due to the negligence of the Luke. Everyone thinks so. Jack, along with Spider and Neytiri, attacks Mike. Seeing Neytiri's arrow there, Mike faces his own death. He can see what a mother's anger is. Here Spider also learns that Neytiri killed his father. So even Spider gets scared seeing Neytiri angry. Realizing that she will kill him too, Mike finally releases his baby girl. But back, Carrie is missing, with Mike holding Carrie with a knife at her throat. Seeing this, Neytiri holds Spider's throat with a knife. Here, Neytiri is so angry that she can actually kill Spider. So Mike leaves Carrie to save his son, Spider. And Neytiri starts leaving from there with all her children. Just then a huge fire breaks out in the water, and here Mike threatens Jack that he will not stop until he kills all of Jack's family. And because of the fire, that ship capsizes and starts sinking. Naitri gets trapped inside the ship with her baby girl Took. Spider and Carrie are also stuck in the water. Jack and Mike are fighting underwater. Here Jack can hold his breath for a long time in the water. So he kills Mike easily. After killing Mike, Jack is unable to get out of there and begins to gasp for breath. At the same time, Spider and Carrie come out on the surface of the water. Luke come and meet there. So to save their mom and dad, all three of them go back underwater. Luke finds his dad, Jack. And Spider finds the body of his dad, Colonel Mike. Is still alive, so he brings the body of his dad, Colonel Mike, out of the water. But Naitri and Took are still trapped underwater. Carrie then uses all of her strength to find Naitri and Took, forming a bond with the fish in the back of the water. And gets them out of the water safely. And thus Jack's family is saved. And Spider also rescues his father's avatar, then Colonel Mike asks him to come with him. But Spider doesn't go with him and goes back to Jack's family. But what they didn't know was that he had saved Colonel Mike and the war ended here. And then we see the funeral of Nisham. And all the people present there have become emotional. Especially Jack's family and Nathium's siblings. Fighting and protecting each other, this is the real identity of life. In the end, Jack and his family stay in Metkana. And they have now accepted this as their home. And here ends Avatar, the Way of Water. But the story isn't over yet because as we know, Colonel Mike is still alive. And he will strike back and we will see that for some time to come.